Opening the movie, Tally narrates a brief history of how natural resources were depleted by mankind to the point that the Earth fell. An efficient energy source known as the White Orchid was created by a group of scientists to stop the planet from collapsing. This not only corrected the collateral damage but also led humanity towards advancements. The greatest danger to humanity, however, was the fact that human nature never changed. For this reason, a compulsory operation has been developed at the age of 16 to render everyone flawless and incapable of causing world wars. Each person is housed in a secure facility prior to operation and is referred to as Uglies, among which Tally takes place. Right now, Paris, Tally's best friend, calls her to the rooftop. Tally still has 3 months left, but Paris, who turns 16 tomorrow, is finally receiving surgery to enter the new world. Tally tells Paris at his graduation that they should get together under the bridge in a month to catch up on everything going on in the outside world. Once he leaves, she remembers the good old days, when they were closest friends and their bond was cemented by obtaining the identical scars on their hands, and looks forward to the day she will get to see Paris again, whereas Paris ghosts her and never responds to her texts. She slips out of the facility a month later to meet Paris under the bridge, but Paris doesn't appear. Tally climbs the bridge to explore what's happening, and while doing so, she uncovers a piggy mask that makes things appear much more gleaming when it transforms her into one of the pretties. She finds Paris at a celebratory party for the new pretties, where his new appearance has left him unrecognizable. He acknowledges Tally, but his altered attitude starts to worry her. His palm scar has also vanished, which is a deal-breaker for her. Before she can address the awkwardness, the wardens announce an intrusion into the celebration. She immediately finds herself a bungee jacket, using which she jumps off the building without getting herself killed. Upon returning to the bridge, the wardens spot her in their flying vessel. However, an Ugly from her facility rescues her on her hoverboard. When they successfully return to the facility, Tally shows the girl how she hacks the glitch in her ring to unlock anything and unlocks a cupcake. They hang out at the rooftop afterwards, where the girl introduces herself as Shay. When the two discover they are birthday twins, they become friends. The next day, Shay forces Tally to miss class so that she may instruct her in flying the board. A few days later, Tally borrows a book from a bunch of rebels that describes a place called the Smoke. The day before their birthday, Shay confesses she would rather go to the Smoke, where appearances are irrelevant, than have the surgery. Tally thinks the Smoke is just a dream, but Shay disproves her theory by bringing her into the wilderness, where they travel a great distance to the abandoned area. She takes Tally on top of a demolished building, where she puts up a fire to summon David, a guy who is to take her to the Smoke. Although she wants Tally to follow her, Tally is preoccupied with wanting to look good and be noticed. Notwithstanding their disagreements, Shay gives her the Smoke's location in riddles, and makes her swear she won't tell anyone. Tally goes back to the facility and celebrates her birthday by taking part in the graduation. While the rest of her batch gets surgeries, she doesn't. Rather, she is flown directly to the pioneer of the Uglies Pretties concept known as Dr. Cable. She uses tactful manipulation to get Tally to reveal Shay's location, but Tally keeps her word and withholds any information, forcing her to return to the dorms. That evening, Paris unexpectedly appears outside the window of her room and persuades her to assist Cable in finding Shay by giving the impression that Shay might be in danger. The following day, when Tally goes to see Cable, she tells her, solely to win her trust, about a weapon that David and his crew are developing to destroy their city. Cable gives her a necklace-shaped beacon after she agrees to assist in finding Shay, so she can let them know where she is once she locates Shay. Next, Tally uses Shay's riddles to set off on a solo adventure through the wilderness. She pauses to take a little break in a field of white orchids. When Paris returns to Cable in the dystopia, it's revealed that she sent him to persuade Tally. When Paris inquires about his feelings coming back, she discloses that all of his previous emotions are returning as a result of meeting Tally. Cable then attempts to get him to have another treatment done to repress those emotions as though it were a defect. When Tally awakens, her field is on fire. David comes to her aid by using his detector to locate a tracker beneath her board. He discards it right away and looks over her whole body. The cunning beacon outpaces the detector, indicating that Tally is clear of trackers. Cable discovers the tracker while David is directing Tally forward, and, realizing that Tally has been approached by people from the smoke, Cable sends 2 wardens to the place where their tracker last appeared. David brings Tally to the outpost, where she united with Shay. When Tally is by herself, she subtly expresses worry for Shay about the location. Shay then realizes that Tally is only trying to get her back to the city and tells Tally to get out of there. Though she admits that she came to pick her up, Tally implores to be allowed to stay with her so she can make sure the location is what Shay says it is. Everyone from the outpost gets together the following morning to light another orchid before leaving for the smoke. Tally halts them, believing they are destroying human energy sources, but David informs Tally that these orchids deplete the earth of its nutrients, leaving the ground unfertilized. They take her on their helicopter as they are burning up the area to further support their point, and she gets to view the destroyed land for herself. David and the others aboard the helicopter are informed when team member Croy uses his scanner to detect the movements of 2 scouts in the field. Tally jumps from the helicopter, drops the cargo rope, and descends into the smoke to save Shay. To alert David that Shay has been located, she brings the unconscious Shay over to the rope and tugs on it, prompting David and his pilot to fly away. They return to the station, where David stands up for Tally because she saved Shay without expecting anything in return, despite Croy's harsh accusations that she brought scouts with her. After remaining the night, the team blindfolds Tally and takes her to the smoke, observing which her jaws drop. She says that everyone there is exercising their free will, which is something she was unaware of before. She wanders around alone for a while until meeting Shay, who forces her to work with David on recycled railroad tracks to produce pots and silverware. After supper the next night, David gives an enlightening speech that persuades Tally that the city just serves to increase their sense of insecurity. David gets to know Tally more over time and takes her crossbow practice. He brings her back to his apartment and lends her his gloves after noticing that she has blisters on her hands from her search for Shay. When a girl is brought in injured at the same time, David reports yet another scout invasion and becomes suspicious of Tally once more. Shay sees David's gloves with Tally when she later helps her with housework. She knows David likes her when she discovers he's handed them to her, so she asks Tally to decide if she wants to be in the smoke or not. As Tally feels more at ease with David, she tries to inquire about the weapon he's been working on, to confirm a false rumor that Cable polluted Tally's mind with. He proves his innocence by leading her right away to his parents' home. Even though she is new, he forces his parents to tell her the harsh reality. Maddie, the mother, discloses that she and her spouse discovered that Cable was operating on patients in order to rob them of their free will and sentiments. She outcasts them after learning of their digging. Fortunately, their parents got them into the proper circles, got them treated, and fled the city to begin a better life. Moreover, they disclose that they have been developing a treatment for 20 years, but it is lacking a synthetic substance known as the nanosynth, which is only available in the city. Tally leaves and tosses her necklace into the flames because she can't bear to face the unpleasant reality. She tries to tell David the truth when he joins, but he believes her without question, and changes the topic to granting her the freedom to decide what she wants to do next. Unaware that the necklace had sent Cable a signal before being destroyed, they end up making love. The following morning, they discover that Cable has already entered, with many scout ships circling the smoke. The scouts avoid the traps and gather all of the people who are there. Tally and David hide and keep watch, up until Tally finds Paris and the scouts, wringing David's father's neck and killing him. While Tally runs to Cable, David runs to his father. She flees after David and Shay are outraged to learn that she was collaborating with Cable, and she wants an answer for betraying her and damaging the smoke. Maddie instructs David to flee after covertly placing her remedy in his bag. Cable destroys the smoke, seizes everyone, and runs away. Having been abandoned, Tally discovers David in the cave and tells him the truth. She repeatedly apologizes and offers help in taking him back to the city to go with her to the city in order to save his people. Taking her word for it, he travels beside her. Once back at her facility, she orders the rebels to prepare a diversion distant from Cable's building. The scouts all flee the building and head towards it when the rebels ignite a sign with fire that reads, "The smoke lives." Using their boards, David and Tally get inside the building and manage to save everyone but Shay, who has been taken away for surgery. Although Croy is furious with her, She devises a scheme to save her. She encounters something unexpected, though, as she sees Shay standing in front of her, looking beautiful and exuding happiness and positivity. When Cable and Paris arrive, they escort David, Tally, and Maddie over to the surgical panels. As Cable justifies her unorthodox ways of keeping the planet from deteriorating by eliminating free will. Croy hovers his helicopter close to the window. He attacks them and makes everyone free. Before leaving, Maddie takes off with the nanosynth. Paris stops them on the roof. While the others are threatened by him, Tally sobs and attempts to shake off the memories to get him on their side. But David remembers what he did to his father and fights him, during which he falls off the building. All of them make their way back to the destroyed city, where Maddie declares that her cure is complete, but won't treat Shay until she concurs. In an attempt to test the treatment, Tally leaps in to volunteer. When Cable arrives, she releases them, asking them to wait for her signal. The film ends with Tally successfully turning into a pretty by Cable and getting a new house of her own. Thank you for being a part of our video. If these tales of mystery and intrigue sent shivers down your spine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more bone-chilling narratives. Stay tuned. And until next time, stay captivated.